death of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei confirmed. Iran vows fierce retaliation against US and Israel.
Prime Minister attends the 120th birth anniversary of Comrade Pham Van Dong.
Ready for a safe and civilized 2026 Spring Festival season.
Hello everyone, you are watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Đăng. Let's get started. On March 1st, Iranian state media officially announced that the Supreme Leader had been killed in a joint airstrike by United States and Israel. Iran then responded by launching its own attacks against US and Israeli military bases and other targets across the Middle East.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim.
Iran's Fars news agency reported that Mr. Khamenei was assassinated at his office while on duty in the early hours of February 28. According to Fars, the Iranian government has declared 40 days of national mourning in his honor. Earlier, in the early morning of March 1st, Vietnam time, U.S. President Donald Trump announced that Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, had been killed following a large-scale joint operation by the U.S. and Israel. By noon on March 1st, Iran deployed a new wave of missile and drone attacks against U.S. military installations in the region and against Israel. According to Iranian state television, 27 U.S. bases in the region were among the targets. The Israeli military stated it is currently responding to missile launches from Iran. Explosions have also been recorded in several Gulf cities. In Doha, the capital of Qatar, thick black columns of smoke were seen accompanied by multiple large explosions. The Islamic Republic stated that these actions are a direct response to the massive coordinated attack carried out by the U.S. and Israel on February 28.
Vietnam is very concerned about the growing conflict in the Middle East. The situation seriously threatens the safety of civilians and affects peace and stability in the region and around the world.
Spokesperson of the Vietnamese Ministry of Foreign Affairs Pham Van Dong made the statement on February 28 in response to reporters' queries regarding Vietnam's reaction to the escalating tensions in the Middle East. Vietnam calls upon all relevant parties to exercise maximum restraint, immediately cease all escalatory actions, protect civilians and essential infrastructure, and resolve differences by peaceful means in strict accordance with international law. Facing the latest developments in the Middle East, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and related agencies have ordered Vietnam's representative missions in Iran and Israel to keep a close watch on the situation and remain fully prepared to implement all necessary measures to ensure safety for Vietnamese citizens, as well as the representative office's headquarters.
On the morning of March 1st, at the Prime Minister Pham Van Dong Memorial Site in Mo Duc District, Quảng Ngãi Province, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended a ceremony marking the 120th birth anniversary of Prime Minister Pham Van Dong, March 3rd, 1906, March 1st, 2026.
Speaking at the ceremony, Mr. Ho Van Nine, Secretary of the Quảng Ngãi Provincial Party Committee, stated that in fulfilling the legacy and teachings of Prime Minister Pham Van Dong, the party, government, and people of Quảng Ngãi have fostered unity and exerted great effort to achieve comprehensive breakthroughs. During his address, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh affirmed that Prime Minister Pham Van Dong was one of the leaders who directly laid the foundation for the nation's renovation cause in the 20th century. He described the late leader as a shining example of revolutionary ethics, fully loyal to the party and the country, and devoted to the people. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh reaffirmed the government's determination to inherit and promote the vast values and legacy left by Prime Minister Pham Van Dong, continuing to build a prosperous, civilized, and happy Vietnam that steps firmly towards socialism.
Coming up next are some data news.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Environment is the exclusive authority responsible for issuing and managing domestic codes and serial numbers for greenhouse gas emission quotas and carbon credits on the national registration system. This is a key provision of the newly issued Circular No. 11/2026 regarding emission quotas and carbon credits. According to the circular, domestic codes are utilized to uniquely identify each emission quota or carbon credit within Vietnamese territory. Stored as electronic data, each agency and organization will be granted a single account linked to their tax identification number. Every quota and credit is assigned a specific code and serial number range to ensure traceability and to prevent duplication or fraud.
By 2026, the tourism industry aims to welcome 25 million international visitors and 150 million domestic visitors. Specifically, Vietnam Tourism plans to organize 16 overseas promotion activities, while local provinces will proactively implement 21 specialized programs. Additionally, 39 activities will feature the direct participation of major economic corporations. This integrated system is expected to create a powerful ripple effect for the national brand beside consolidating traditional source markets such as China, South Korea, Japan, and the ASEAN region. The tourism industry will focus on deeply penetrating high-spending markets in Western Europe, Northern Europe, and North America. Potential markets, including Australia, Russia, India, and the Middle East, have also been identified as new growth engines.
According to report, during the first 2 months of 2026, Nghệ An province's state budget revenue is estimated at nearly 5.580 billion Vietnamese dongs, reaching 23.9% of the annual estimate and representing a 15.8% increase compared to the same period in 2025. Notably, by the latter half of February, the province had approved investment policies and issued investment registration certificates for 10 projects. While adjusting an additional 26 project phases, the total newly registered and adjusted capital exceeded 64,340 billion Vietnamese dongs. Specifically, the Provincial People's Committee approved the investment policy for the Queen Lap LNG thermal power plant project, with a total investment of 59,372 billion Vietnamese dongs. Additionally, 816 new businesses were established, marking a 68.2% increase year over year.
Nghệ An is a province with a long history and rich culture. Every year, many large and small festivals are held there, attracting a lot of local people and tourists. To make sure that the 2026 Spring Festival season follow the rules and meets people's spiritual needs, local authorities have carefully prepared so that all activities will be safe and well organized.
This is the first year the King Mai Temple Festival is being held following the merger of communal administrative units. Nevertheless, preparations for the festival activities in Ban and Commune have been implemented in strict accordance with tradition. Notably, on the eve of the festival, a national standard wrestling arena was completed and put into use for this year's King Mai Festival. We have directed our departments to carry out promotional and awareness campaigns, as well as sanitation work at the King Mai Temple and tomb areas, with a particular focus on upgrading the electrical grid. Every year, the Den Con Festival in Queen Mai Ward attracts a large number of residents and tourists. The organizing committee for the 2026 Den Con Festival has issued a specific plan, which focuses on strictly controlling service activities and decisively handling any violations.
The relevant units have reviewed the various ceremonies, including the festivals, the Khao Nu ceremony and the processions. The Security and Order Subcommittee has also issued a security plan for the periods before, during, and after the festival.
According to the master plan, 29 festivals will take place across Nghệ An province in 2026. Among these, 20 festivals are held during the spring season, while the remaining events are scheduled throughout the year, from the 4th to the 10th month of the lunar calendar.
Sở Văn hóa Thể thao Du lịch đã chỉ đạo các đơn vị chuyên môn
The department has issued a comprehensive plan and directed localities hosting festivals to ensure strict compliance. The department inspectorate has been assigned to conduct regular inspections and take decisive action against any festivals where violations occur. With the proactive involvement of state management agencies, awareness and responsibility of local residents and tourists, this year's traditional festivals across the province are expected to take place in a safe and civilized manner while preserving their unique cultural identities.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.